Kandahar, Mexico, Afghanistan, ghost stories. We checked the records, there's nothing.
Then you're reading the edited files.
The room was all steel and shadows. A box designed to strip a man down to his words. A recorder hummed on the table, its red light steady as a heartbeat. Across from me sat Agent Harlan, CIA, tailored suit, expression carved from stone.
The world knew me as Echo.
Sat cuffed to the chair, wrists raw, a ghost dragged into the light.
You've become quite the internet celebrity. Millions of people have seen your so-called confession about fighting dragon people in a Mexican cave.
Forums ablaze, conspiracy channels running overtime. The government has stated publicly that the Phantom unit never existed. So why don't you save us both time and admit you are a fraud?
Funny, Harlan. If I'm a fraud, why are you here? Why am I shackled in a black site that officially doesn't exist?
You're interrogating a ghost about a unit you claim never lived. That irony isn't lost on me.
His eyes narrowed.
Then enlighten me.
Who are the Phantoms? The Phantoms weren't dreamed up in the War on Terror. We were born in the ashes of World War II. Roswell was the spark, but it wasn't the first.
The OSS, your CIA's daddy, stumbled on things they couldn't explain. Lights over LA, missing regiments in Europe, legends that bled into reality. After the war, with the Cold War looming, a shadow consensus formed. The world couldn't know monsters were real. Panic would collapse economies, topple religions, unravel power itself. So they built us. At first whispers, then flesh. The Phantoms, no insignias, no flags, just black armor, matte and silent, faces hidden behind visors that reflected nothing. We weren't soldiers, we were erasers, janitors of another reality. Harlan scribbled on his pad, not looking up. I continued.
Funding? Through what they called the Asterian Directive. Black budgets bled through defense contractors, missing billions tucked into Pentagon audits.
Old dynasties laundering fortunes through shell foundations. DARPA, DOE, NSA, private hands, you name it.
Whoever signed the checks stayed behind curtains, but the purpose was clear. Keep the illusion alive. Humanity on top. Myths are myths. Science explains everything, and if something slipped through, send in the Phantoms.
My brothers and I are certain of this. Much of the advanced technology that we possess has been reverse engineered from off-world sources.
The kind of breakthroughs that could transform a crumbling dystopian planet into a thriving utopia within 2 decades. Zero-point energy, the end of hunger, the eradication of disease and cancer. It exists, but only in the hands of the untouchable elite, names you'll never read in history books.
Where is all this technology?
Right beneath your feet. What do you mean, beneath my feet?
It's the breakaway civilization. They call it the New Atlantis. Deep underground installations around the world with advanced railways that connect them like a spider web, even under the oceans.
And here's the reason it's been buried for so long. If even a single truth slipped out, one lie exposed, it would trigger a chain reaction unraveling over a century of deception. Corruption, cover-ups, and crimes against humanity would finally demand accountability. And those who've ruled in shadows know it would burn their entire empire to the ground.
Tell me about the Giants. You know this one, don't you? Kandahar, 2002.
The public story. A lost army infantry unit disappears in the mountains, and Green Berets were sent in to find them. It wasn't the Green Berets. It was really us, the Phantoms. We went in to find them. We knew of the Nephilim that lived in those mountains. We suspected the worst case that unfortunately was the reality.
And what was that?
The memories clawed back. Jagged mountains, thin air, the sense of being watched. We found the cave.
Its mouth was torn open like the earth itself had been pried apart. Bones littered the entrance. Animal, human, and things that defied anatomy. Inside, the stench hit first. Rot, copper, something chemical.
You called them the Nephilim. Who are they?
The villagers whispered their warnings. After the Great Flood, most of the giants drowned.
The reports from the locals matched chatter we'd been tracking. Something ancient was awake in those hills. Not terrorists, not insurgents. A Nephilim. The villagers whispered their warnings. After the Great Flood, most of the giants drowned, but not all. Some survived in the mountains, sealed away in caves, waiting. They said the land itself cursed those who entered. The bones of animals and men would be the only trail out. Those myths weren't folklore to us. They were intel. That's what we hunted. Cryptids, abominations, things governments can't let the public believe in.
And that night in Kandahar, I learned what it meant to be a phantom.
After we found the infantry's gear, radios smashed, rifles bent like twigs, blood smeared on rocks, but no bodies. Then the cave. Its mouth was torn unnaturally wide, ringed with bones, gear, and the stench of rot.
I was point man, the rookie, heart hammering so hard I thought the others could hear it in their comms.
We moved in, rifles ready. That's when the mountain shook.
It came out of the dark like an avalanche with teeth 14 feet tall, maybe more.
Pale skin stretched tight, veins glowing under the flesh. Long red hair like blood-soaked rope, a beard matted with filth, 6 fingers on each hand, 6 toes, claws like hooks. Its eyes burned gold, slit like a serpent's. In its hand was a spear bigger than a man, jagged with stone and rusted steel. It impaled Jackson before I even registered it had moved, threw him into the rocks like he was weightless. The cave echoed with his bones breaking. We opened fire, full auto, Barrett .5s, incendiaries. Tracers lit the cave like hellfire. The beast roared, and it wasn't just a sound, it was pressure. My vision blurred, my headset fried, my teeth rattled. It swung the spear in arcs that shattered stone. One of ours, Ramirez, was split nearly in 2. Another, Holt, was crushed when it ripped a stalagmite free and hurled it through him.
We were ghosts, but in that cave we bled like anyone else. Still we fought. Grenades tore burning craters into its legs.
The Barrett rounds cracked bone, spraying blood across the walls. It came for me. I remember its breath, hot and foul.
As its claw raked sparks off my armor, I thought I was dead. But Walker shoved me clear, and the giant's spear impaled him instead.
We poured everything we had into its head, round after round, until the cave was smoke and fire. Finally, it staggered, crashing down like a collapsing building. The ground shook. Dust fell like ash, and still its body twitched, nerves firing like cables alive. When the silence came, it wasn't relief, it was dread. Half my squad was gone. The infantry platoon, their remains were in the bones that littered the cave.
What did they tell their families?
But families, they called that a liability. We have to cut all ties to become eligible for phantoms.
In most cases, our families already think we died in action. We secured the body. The thing was heavier than a truck, reeking of blood and death. Our bird came in, a Phantom Exfil chopper, matte black, engines whisper quiet, tech you'll never see in the light of day. We loaded it onto a reinforced pallet, the rotors straining as we lifted off. I thought we'd done it, thought the nightmare was over. Back at our underground installation, we barely set the pallet down before they arrived. Men in black suits, flanked by soldiers in black camos with gear sharper than ours. No insignias.
Leave that there, we will take it from here.
They didn't salute, didn't acknowledge us. Just moved in like they owned the place.
They took over the giant's body? I thought the phantoms were at the highest levels of power and secrecy.
We're just grunts in fancy armor with shiny gadgets. If they could tell us nothing and still have us hunt the things we do, they would. There's always someone higher on the totem pole.
And then came the craft. Not a Chinook, not a Black Hawk. Sleek, sloped, swallowing light itself. No rivets, no markings. It hovered more than it flew, engines purring like something alive. They loaded the giant's corpse aboard and left without a word. No thanks, no explanation, just gone.
We'd lost brothers that night. We'd faced something that shouldn't exist. And in the end, we weren't saviors.
We were delivery boys. Assets securing an asset.
I met Harlan's eyes. My hands were trembling, but my voice was steady.
You asked why the phantoms were there? We weren't hunting terrorists. We weren't rescuing soldiers. We were sent for the giant. That's the truth you'll never admit.
Because if even one of these things exists, the whole damn story of humanity cracks. Flood myths, giants, gods. They're not stories. They're history. And your people, the ones in suits and black camos, they're not hiding the monsters to protect us. They're hiding them because they belong to someone else now. The recorder hummed. its red light unblinking.
Now tell me about the insectoids.